start with the Chicago Bears. Are the Chicago Bears now, they win 15-6 against the Los Angeles Rams. Are the Chicago Bears a Super Bowl contender?
Here's the reason I'll say I don't think so. They're still going to be on the road the whole playoffs. They're still going to have to go through L.A. or New Orleans. And I mean, they could feasibly maybe win one of those games and then get home field again in the championship round. But it's just going to be difficult. I think making Drew Brees or Jared Goff go up to Chicago in that weather in the playoffs would be a very good equalizer, especially with the defense that the Bears have.
Right.
But not having home field, it's almost a very unlikely chance that they do end up getting home field at this point. The Rams and the Saints would have to basically lose out, which I don't think is going to happen. So not having home field, I just don't foresee them going in and being able to stop them in the Dome or in the weather out in LA. Yeah,
the Bears at home, it's certainly been a huge factor when they're at home. I mean, they did it. They shut down the Vikings a few weeks ago. They played really well against Seattle back in week 2.
Yeah.
They still have Green Bay at home, which would be fun to watch, Aaron Rodgers and that passing offense, despite what they've dealt with this year. So the Bears at home have been tough. How much do we attribute last night's game, though? I mean, this was one of the worst quarterback games on both sides, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad.
On both sides.
Both sides, Mitch Trubisky and Jared Goff. How much do we attribute it to the quarterback play versus what the Bears did defensively? Because they got some good pressure and they covered well on the back end, but man, it was just quarterbacks were making some bad throws.
I think my biggest takeaway from the Rams offense this last 2 weeks, Jared Goff's probably his worst 2 weeks since last year, obviously, and maybe since even his rookie year.
Yeah.
The interior of that Rams offense line is an issue. Their worst 2 weeks also, by far, in my opinion, that they've played all season. Austin Blythe is an issue at right guard in terms of being able to hold up against the bull rush, and John Sullivan in pass protection has been just getting destroyed by any sort of quality nose tackle. And you even saw it, the play. So Sullivan gives up the sack to force the safety against Eddie Goldman. Terrible right there. And then the next drive, the Khalil Mack forced fumble, you see Roger Saffold, the left guard, trying to help out Austin Blythe when they're trying to help out John Sullivan against a nose tackle, and doesn't get out to where he's supposed to be and help out Andrew Whitworth with Khalil Mack, and then, Khalil Mack forced the fumble. So you're kind of, if you have to help your interior offensive line, it's going to put those tackles on an island more, and that's just not where you don't want your tackles on an island. I don't think any team wants that. So that to me is the biggest issue. And then Goff holding up to that interior pressure, he didn't look like the same quarterback when he has a guy in his face. Yeah,
Goff, he was very streaky last night, but he made a few good throws, but just most of the time looking uncomfortable, a little bit slow. Even on the sack, it was, you mentioned Eddie Goldman, great pass rush on that play, but Goff just a tick slow across the board, so you can credit on the back end. I love the well-rounded number of pressures that the Bears had. You get 4 from Akeem Hicks and 3 from Eddie Goldman, 4 from Leonard Floyd, 4 from Khalil Mack. I mean, Khalil Mack was pretty much slowed down in the first half a little bit, but like you said, when you start to move around who's doubling whom and all these different game plan adjustments, Khalil Mack could take advantage. Guys like Jonathan Bullard coming off the bench. I mean, it was a deep, good look. The PFF grades are going to be spectacular on the Bears defense once they hit premium stats and everything. So it's not a great year for defenses. Sam and I have been talking about this all year. Are the Bears the clear favorite as the best defense right now in a year of average to slightly above average top defenses?
Yeah, I mean, there was another defense that slowed down a pretty good offense this past week in Baltimore. So I'm not sure clearly, but I would take them as number one at this point.
All right, let's discuss Mitchell Trubisky, because you weren't around when we aggravated every Bears fan. By the way, they used to be, I haven't checked the numbers again, they used to be the city that most of our listeners got, our best city.
Chicago.
There. And then I trashed Trubisky, and maybe they all disappeared. Yeah. But he was just as bad as Jared Goff, if not. I think he was worse than Jared Goff, because Goff at least made a few nice throws beyond the sticks and moved the chains and then made some terrible ones. Trubisky was terrible throwing beyond the sticks. This reminded me of growing up watching the Bears, Rex Grossman, 06. This was a classic 06 Bears win where Rex Grossman does everything in his power. In this case, Mitchell Trubisky does everything in his power to try to lose you the game. Right.
But you're just so good everywhere else that you end up coming away with a win over a very good team, but it had really zero to do with Trubisky's play. I mean, 33.3 passer rating, 1 completion, 10 yards plus down the field on 9 attempts.
He was 1 for 10 is what I'm seeing, with 3 interceptions.
Rams caught more balls downfield than the Bears.
3 times as many, in fact. Trubisky, we can still do some stuff with the legs, but again, the thing we've been saying all year is that scheme has aided him. The reason why his passer rating is high, I think his passer rating, he dropped from like 13th to 24th or something, or 22nd in the league in this one game, which actually, to be honest, started to match up more with our numbers. Mm-hmm. So is it, look, we liked Trubisky coming out. I do like Trubisky overall. I still think he'll be okay, but I'm saying the way he's playing right now, you need Tariq Cohen to make a great play. You need Allen Robinson to make a great contested catch. He's so inconsistent. Can they be that Super Bowl contender, with him at quarterback?
I mean, I think the defense is good enough, and we've obviously seen them, take it to the Rams here, but all it takes is one game of Trubisky. That's not going to fly in the playoffs, I don't think. I don't think that's going to fly on the road either, especially if you're going to New Orleans, going to Los Angeles. They're not going to put up 6 points against the Bears in one of those venues. So I don't think I think it will be limiting. I mean, Rex Grossman ended up getting them to the Super Bowl, but then again, he didn't do it in the Super Bowl. So I do think you're talking about a 3-game sample size, one of those games, I don't think you're going to be able to survive that if you're the Bears.